So, zero skull. I get what you're talking about, zero skull, as you point out zero skull, in any given perspective, and thereby takes it down from 1 to 0.
I'm 0 school. I'm going to show you my 3-square cube. The standard cube net looks like this, or this square could be there, or this square could be there, and this one could be there, but it's a line of 4 squares with 1 square on either side at any location along the edge. This is the cube that you know from school. Snap it together real fast. You've got a cube. That's your standard classic cube. I was in 7th grade 3 times for reasons, and every year in there we would be looking at our math book and we would see this image. This is a lattice-matrix cube net, and some student would always point out that that's got 19 edges. That cannot possibly make a cube. And whenever a student did this, it happened 4 times in 4 different 7th grade classrooms in 3 different locations. And the teacher would say, well, there's a hyperdimensional way that the edges come together when you go to do that. And so those edges are said to share faces, and the faces are said to share edges. But I can't imagine what that hyperdimensional link-up could be, because this right here does not produce a lattice matrix cube. It produces a shape that is not a cube, that is similar to a cube, but it has 2 edges there, 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 1 edge there, 1 edge there, and 1 edge there. This is not a cube. And I've mentioned this to other people, and they've said that they're just confused and confounded by this. But we understand there must be some hyperdimensional manner by which to cause these edges to come together and become a cube. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the structure of that geometry by 1/2. I'm going to show you that a cube is not specifically a lattice matrix cube. It is not made out of 6 squares, but out of 3 squares. It is half as much as you think it is. I'm going to take 1 square and disassemble it. Where are we? Okay. So now I've got 3 squares, and one of the squares is just the edges. Then I'm going to run wire through the edges that I've just prepared, or that was separated. I've never done this in this manner before. I always do it with a piece of paper, and it always blows people's minds. They cannot believe what they've just seen. I'll do a drawing, or I'll do a little cutout with a simple square of paper, because it's really that simple to produce. So now I have set up like this, and take that a little bit further. And then we wind up with two of these. I have a illustration here showing, there we go. This structure, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we take one of these and stuff it into the other one. And this right here is what the actual cube lattice looks like. This one could be on this side, doesn't matter. These could be pointed outward, doesn't matter. This is your cube net. And then, oh right, the square thing. Oh well. As this is a square, if we remove one edge, it is no longer a square and it doesn't have a face. The face only exists because the edges are together as a square. This edge and this edge do not need to be demonstrated in the net for it to come together to produce a cube. In fact, they destroy the fact that it is a cube, because those edges simply come into existence as emergent properties of the object being folded. You have a cube, and it's made out of 3 squares. A lattice matrix cube is not made out of 6 squares like an ordinary cube. This cube is made of 6 square faces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one is made out of 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say that's a half, but no. It's 12 edges make up 3 squares. 1 square has 4 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 squares have 8 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 12 squares, and 3 squares have 12 edges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 edges. And the face, the 2 extraneous faces, because I don't have a wire stripper here. And then the 2 extraneous edges are not made, they are simply emergent properties of the structure of the cube. And that is your 3 square cube. This does not produce a cube. It cannot produce a cube. It has to have solid faces in order for it to produce a cube. This is a cube, and it's made from a standard cube net. And that's pretty much, and that's that.
So, zero skull, I get what you're talking about, zero skull, as you point out, zero skull, in any given perspective, and thereby takes it down from 1 to 0.